السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا زدنا علما. ربي يسر ولا تعسر. ربي وتمم بالخير. اللهم اجعل القرآن ربيع قلوبنا ونور صدورنا اللهم آمين. So we are going to start our first session of this week. So we have finished last week the verbal sentence and nominal sentence. A lot of discussion has been happening and there were a lot of practice. Inshallah, we'll do some time revision or there will be some quiz and it will be covered inshallah. Today we are going to start a new topic that is very important and that is called naibul fa'il. First of all, naibul fa'il in English we say this is acting doer. When we say acting doer, normally when we discuss the sentence, so file is important part of that. So that is uh, doer. So when we say naibul file, acting doer, it's mean the original doer. The actual doer will not be there, and we will discuss about something. Acting doer, naibul file, and this concept uh, comes at what point? So we have to be very clear in passive voice. In English, when we say, uh, I wrote a letter, and it's just an active sentence, and when we just make it passive voice, a letter was written by me. So basically, you are changing something. First, I wrote a letter. There is file is different, maf'ul is different, okay? But here, when you say a letter was written by me, so here you are changing the file. A letter is coming in the beginning, and similarly, there we have the concept about the passive voice. First of all, there are two things. Normal verb. When the sentence start with the normal verb, that verb is basically a ma'ruf verb. We know the uh, doer inside of that or outside, and that is called ma'ruf. In passive voice, that is called majhul. Passive mean it is not there. So in passive voice, verb file is not known, but maf'ul is known. Like daraba, he hit. He hit. He is basically file. We know that who is the doer. But the same when you change daraba into duriba, duriba mean he was hit. Now you know. Now what happened? He was hit, but he was hit. We don't know who was the doer here in this case. He was hit. In so in whenever we have the passive verb, the file is not known, but the maf'ul is known. Then in case when there is in passive voice, when there is no file, so what we have to do, we have to consider a naibul file, doer. Acting doer mean in place of original file, we have to nominate a nominable file, and it can be inside or outside the passive verb. When we say passive verb, it means fi'lul majhul. File is not known. Similarly, another point is that when verb is passive voice, the maf'ul is may. Okay, now what happened when we have the verb? Verb will be passive voice. We know that it is duriba, fu'ila, whatever form. Like we all we already passive voice. So here, what happened? Basically, there is no file. So we have to make an effort to make maf'ul as file. And when we make that maf'ul, that was object, when we make that as file, so all those condition of file will be fulfilled. Means that should be marfu. That should be marfu. So how you will look for naibul file, because we will have already the sentences here. There is no need of make it because we are doing the Quranic verses. They will be there. So look for naibul file when inside naibul file is uh, he or she, both in Madi, the same rule. Outside, Naibul file should be after the passive verb and should match in gender but not in number. Let us take one example here, and the important task will be that how to find the Naibul file. First, we have to recognize it here. Like we have خلق الإنسان. So Tanjeen.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Tanjeen. خلق الإنسان. Can you please translate this?
خلق الإنسان. خلق
خلق
create.
means,
He created.
okay, if it is خلق الإنسان, it starts with verb or noun?
It starts with a verb.
Verb. So it's a verbal sentence, okay? Okay, now can you please translate it? خلق الإنسان.
خلق الإنسان. خلق. He created. إنسان. Human.
Okay, now combined translation will be
He created the humans.
he created the human. And because he created and there is inside doer is he or she, and you look for outside doer and you did not find that, that should be marfu. So here the fa'il is he, you know that here doer is he, so this is called active voice. Okay, so this is active ma'ruf. Now let's make Tanjin. Now we will make it passive voice. So what will happen? This khalaqa, what will be the passive for
خلق
khalaq?
الإنسان.
Why we make insanu instead of insana?
Because it's marfu, Ustad. When in passive voice,
Passive
the
voice. In case of passive voice, here you have to see the point on the left side that will say
maf'ul is made like
yes,
maf
you are right. Maf'ul will be made as that will be
marfu'a.
okay. So now insanu is what?
The insanu,
Yeah,
the
should be
humans,
called, yeah. Grammatically, what do we say it as? Naibul,
naibul file.
naibul file or acting doer. Because khulika means he was created. Now before insana, so
He
insana
was
becomes,
created.
yeah. So now what is the meaning of khuliqal insanu?
The humans were created.
What is fa'il here?
File insan.
Insanu. Insanu. This is basically, this is file, and this file is called acting
Acting door.
acting doer. Can you please revise these points, apply all these points here in this example? The first point is
In passive voice verbs,
file is
majhul file is not known, but
majhul mean
maf
not known. Majhul mean
majhul
passive file means not known, and
not
active
known.
mean ma'ruf. Okay, but
Fa'al not known, but
so here you said
maf'ul.
here khulika means
He was created.
he was created. We don't know who has created. Doer is not there. File is not there. Did you
Yeah.
understand? Okay,
Yeah.
now go to the next step. Now
Okay.
we have to find
No,
we have to find the acting doer. Acting doer can be
acting doer can be inside or outside the
okay.
فعل
Okay.
مجرور
So let's
passive
see
voice.
here. Look for naibul file. When inside here naibul file is what khuliqa, there is he or she. So
He
you
or
have to
she.
look for acting doer outside, and that should be marfu. So khuliqal insanu, insan was created.
Human
So
was
here,
created.
so insan is what? That is naibul file. That is naibul
File.
file. Thank you. Let me go to Zainab.
Alaikum.
Sorry. Zainab.
Yes.
Okay, can you please this take this example duribat alayhim. Read it please first.
ضربت عليهم الذلة.
Zillatu. Okay. Now can you please explain about me duribat? What is this duribat? Is it
Uh,
active verb or passive voice verb?
I think it's an active word.
Okay, what is the meaning of daraba?
He hit.
Okay, what is passive verb for daraba?
He was hit.
Arabic, in Arabic.
Um, ضربوا.
Duriba, simple thing. Daraba,
ضرب.
duriba. What is the feminine of duriba?
Um, is it ضربت?
Duribat. Now tell me, this duribat is active verb or passive verb?
Passive word.
Okay. What is the passive verb for nasara?
نصيرة.
Okay. Fataha,
فتح. فتح.
futiha. Khalaqa,
خلق.
khulika. First dhamma in Madi, very easy. First dhamma, and the second will be, there will be kasra, the second letter. And no change in the third letter. So duribat is active verb or passive verb?
Passive word.
If it is passive verb, so what is the problem there? There will be no.
No file.
So what you have to do? You have to make
You have to make the مفعول.
maf'ul. Okay, you have to look for, because already sentences are there. We are not making it. So there must be an acting doer. We have to find the naibul file. Here, what will be the naibul file in this case?
The نائب الفاعل بنفس. No. No. عليهم.
Is it this is alayhim? Can
عليهم.
we make
Okay. ذلته.
zillatu? So naibul file should be
مرفوع. Right.
marfu. So when there is inside here, if you look at that, look for naibul file. That is, look for, when you look for naibul file, you just look at this passive or duribat. Inside is he or she.
She.
She. So it is he or she. So it's so we have to look for naibul file, and that should be
That should be مرفوع.
marfu. Azillatu. Can you please now combine the translation here?
She was hit
Where is she?
upon.
So
ضرب.
file, you have to translate starting with file, acting doer.
Okay. There was ذلته. What does ذلته mean?
Humiliation
Okay. Humiliation was hit upon them.
or humiliation was stuck upon them. Yes. So see here, you started with, so zillatu is what here right now?
ذلته is the acting doer.
Acting doer naibul file, because it starts with, here we have, what is this duribat is?
ضربت is the passive voice word.
Passive verb.
مجهول.
Yeah, passive verb. Okay, thank you. Musab.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Can you please take this kutiba and explain this?
Kutiba alaykum as-siyam.
Okay.
Kutiba
Kutiba
means
is active verb or passive verb?
passive.
So in passive verb, what is unnoun?
Sorry?
File is unnoun. Okay. So what you have to do?
We have
There
to
will be a naibul file. So what will be naibul file in this case?
kut siyamu.
A siyam, and naibul file should be
It should be rafa marfu.
marfu. Okay. Now can you please combine the translation here?
Uh, upon them was
Always start with file. Always start with subject. So here, what is acting doer here?
fasting.
Yeah.
Fasting. Uh, fasting was upon them.
Kutiba means
Fasting was prescribed upon them.
prescribed upon them, written upon them. Yeah. So kutiba is passive verb. So what is acting doer here? Naibul file.
Naibul file is siyamu.
Siyamu. It is only in that case when the verb is passive. When we have passivized verb, So, and there is he or she, so there must be, we have to look for naibul file. We have to look for naibul file. And here acting doer, there will be inside he or she. Then we have to look for outside, and that will be naibul file, because in passive verb file is not known. Okay, so one more example here we will take, and let me ask Ashar bhai.
Assalamu
Wa alaikum assalam. Ashar bhai, can you please take this ayah? Wa iza tuliyat?
alaikum. وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا.
Okay,
And إِذَا when تُلِيَتْ, it is passive.
it is passive. Meaning is
Meaning is she
can we say it was recited?
recited, it was recited, yes.
Okay, okay. If it is passive verb and she, and yes, there is she. Okay, inside acting doer is she. So we have to look for naibul file acting doer, and that should be marfu.
Yes.
What is that here?
It should be ayatu.
Ayatu, who, and that is marfu. Can you please
Yeah.
now combine the translation?
And when his verses was recited upon them, um, he
It increased them.
believed. Okay, yeah.
It increased them in
It
faith,
increased their belief.
belief or faith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you please combine the translation again?
And when his verses were recited upon them, it increased their belief
And we know that when there is iza, we change it into present.
into present. Yeah.
Yeah. So important thing is naibul file. What is naibul file here?
Ayatuhu.
Ayatuhu. And passive verb is
What is
passive verb here?
passive verb is tuliya.
Tuliya. Okay. Hamad bhai.
Yes, Uncle.
Wa alaikum salam. Hamad bhai, can you please take this one? Wa iza bushira.
Ji. وَإِذَا بُشِّرَ أَحَدُهُمْ بِالْأُنْثَى. So, and إِذَا when bushira.
Bushira is?
Bushira is to give good news. So the
So
good news was given.
is it active verb or passive
Is
verb?
passive words.
Passive. When we say passive, that is majhul.
Yeah.
So passive means there is no file. Okay. So what is the meaning of bushira?
So the good news was given.
Good news was given. Yeah. Okay. Keep
Uh,
going.
yeah. So أحدهم.
Ahaduhum.
أحدهم. Yeah. أحدهم. أحد mean one. Whom them.
One of them.
One of
Yeah.
Bil. Be with al unsa.
Female.
Like a female or feminine. Female.
So here we are talking about naibul file. What
Yeah.
is naibul file in this case?
So that would be ahadu.
Ahaduhum. That should ahaduhum is basically here is naibul file. Yes. Now combine the translation.
And when uh, the good news is, oh no, actually,
No, one of them.
when one of them was given, or is given a news, good news of a female.
Of female. Yeah. After bil unsa, whatever that we can just, that is bil unsa. So here ahaduhum is basically
Naibal file.
naibul file. Yeah, and bushira is, thank you. Let me go to brother Ahmad.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Can you please explain this in naibul, about naibul file? Fala.
Uh, so not فلا يخفف عنهم العذاب.
Okay. Is
Is
there any passive verb here in this ayah?
يخفف is passive voice.
Yukhaffafu is passive verb. So if there is passive verb, is there inside acting doer?
Inside is he.
He. So there should be a naibul file, and that should be marfu. What is that here in this case?
Uh, al azabu.
Azabu.
Uh,
Okay. So
yeah.
azabu is naibul file here. Now combine the translation.
Uh, and the punishment will not uh, uh,
Lightened or
uh,
decreased.
and the
The,
punishment will not be decreased upon them,
yeah, or lightened upon them.
lightened upon them.
Lightened upon them. Yes. So important concept is when the first of all we should know the passive verb. Here the task is not to make the basically passive verb how you can make naibul file. That is also, but here the important thing is in Quran when the passive verb comes, how you will recognize the naibul file. Passive. First of all, we should be very clear. In passive verb is called majhul, means doer is not there. So in that case, you have to make, you have to find naibul file. There will be naibul file that is acting doer. Acting doer that is in place of file, and that is this is the only concept. If the verb is there, you have to find naibul file that is acting doer. So we have to go to the breakout room so that we should just have practice on this and take these examples.